Once upon a time, in an age when time did not run so fast. It was an era when clocks worked with sunlight and the winds used to carry letters from one village to another. In that very age, in the middle of a deep and vast forest, where even sunlight had to struggle through thick leaves to touch the ground, there stood a small wooden library. This was no ordinary library. They say it was built by an old wise woman who could read the movement of the stars. The library had thousands of books, and inside every book, a living secret was locked. In that library lived a girl named Maureen. Maureen's parents had passed away when she was a child, and she was raised by books. She would read all day, talk to the books, and in the evening, she would look at the dense forest from her window. There was one special thing about this library. On the first page of every book, there was an empty map drawn, showing the path to an unknown place. Maureen had been looking at those maps for years, but she never understood where the path led. One autumn morning, when there was a light chill in the air, and a sweet smell was coming from the fallen leaves, Maureen was reading a very old, dusty book. The name of the book was The People Who Stopped Time. As soon as she turned the last page of the book, a dry yellow leaf fell from inside the book, on which it was written, "When the forest sleeps and the train comes out of the fog, come to the old cafe. We are waiting for you." Maureen's heartbeat became fast. This was the first time a book had called her itself. That night, she could not sleep. Outside the window, the forest was silent. And from somewhere far away, the whistle of a train was coming, even though there was no railway track in that forest. The next morning, before sunrise, Maureen packed her small bag, in which she kept that same book, a cup of tea, and a small lantern, and she set out into the forest. The map in the book started glowing by itself this time. The map was taking her towards that part of the forest where no one had ever gone before. While walking, it became noon. The forest ended, and a deserted footpath began. At the end of the path, bathed in sunlight, stood a very old cafe. On its board was written, "Old Cafe." Its color had faded. Its walls were old. Vines had surrounded it. And outside, there were two wooden chairs and a table placed, as if someone had just gotten up and left. In front, an old bicycle was standing, covered in moss. This was the same cafe that was often mentioned in her books. They say, time stops here to drink tea. Maureen entered inside with fear. Inside, there was dust, but everything was in its place. On the counter, an old bell was kept. She rang the bell. The sound of ding-ding echoed throughout the deserted cafe. After some time, an old man came out from the back door. His back was bent. He had thick glasses on his eyes, and he had a cloth in his hand with which he was cleaning a cup. He smiled at Maureen. Old Eunice gave her a cup of hot tea. The smell of the tea had a strange sweetness, like the smell of old memories. Every book in your Maureen was surprised. "How do you know me?" "And for 50 years. I am only 20 years old." The old man pointed to a chair. "Sit down. In this cafe, time does not move straight. My name is Eunice. I am the keeper of this cafe. This cafe is for those who have forgotten their path. Library came from this cafe. The old woman who built that library was my mother. She said that one day, a girl would come who talks to books, and only she would understand the secret." "Which secret?" Maureen asked. Eunice took a deep breath. "There is a train in this world that runs only once a year. In the last days of autumn, when the fog is the thickest, that train comes to take those people who belong nowhere, who could not live in the past, nor in the future. It takes them to a place where they find peace. But to run that train, a story is needed. A true, complete story. And only you can tell that story." Maureen did not understand anything, but a strange peace descended in her heart. She felt as if she had been searching for this cafe for years. Eunice showed her a small room behind the cafe. In the room there was a table, and on the table, an empty book was kept. Its pages were completely blank. You have to write your story. What you spent alone in the library. What you learned from books. Until you complete this book, the train will not come. And if the train does not come, the forest will sleep forever. That night, Marine stayed in the same cafe. Outside, the wind was strong. Vines were hitting the windows. She sat in front of that empty book. She started writing. She wrote about her childhood, about loneliness, about the joy of opening a book for the first time. In her dream, she saw that the library was slowly disappearing. While writing, she fell asleep, and books were flying in the air. She woke up with a jolt. The night was deep. A thick fog had covered outside the cafe. She heard the whistle of the train again from far away. This time, very close. Stories are never complete, daughter. They are just passed on to the next traveler. Come, we have to go to the station. Marine kept that half-written book in her bag and started walking with Eunice on those newly formed tracks, towards the fog, from where the sound of the train was coming. She did not know what was ahead, but she was not afraid, because she felt that her real story had just begun.